Property taxes are going up for people who live in the Madison Metropolitan School District. The school board approved the 2023-2024 budget last week.
It's nearly $600 million. New at 10, Caroline Dade is digging deeper into how that budget affects the taxes you pay.
Homeowners in the Madison School District boundaries will pay hundreds of dollars more this upcoming year in property taxes. I got data from the district showing it's the biggest yearly increase in at least 13 years. School funding experts at UW-Madison tell me several factors are at play here.
School boards don't have a very big toolbox when it comes to funding schools. They basically have property taxes and property taxes.
Ross Milton is an assistant professor at UW-Madison's La Follette School of Public Affairs. He says besides property taxes, Wisconsin school districts also get money from the state. But MMSD is getting less this year, and that means there's a greater burden on taxpayers.
I own a house in Madison, and what I care about at the end of the day is how much I have to pay in property taxes.
This year, Milton and every other homeowner will have to pay more. On average, they'll pay more than $4,000 in property taxes to support the school district. That's a nearly $400 jump from last year. But the increase isn't just because the district is spending more. While the total tax levy did go up, the amount you pay on each $1,000 of property value went down. The big difference maker is properties are worth more. The average home value jumped more than $47,000 from last year. That's part of the reason why MMSD is getting less money from the state. UW-Madison Emeritus Professor Andrew Wachowski says a vast majority of state aid is something called equalization aid.
But it basically gives more money to districts that have lower property values per pupil than districts that have higher property values per pupil.
If you live in a district where property values have increased at a faster rate than they have in the rest of the state, that's going to cost you somewhat.
And when the majority of school funding comes from only two sources, a decrease in one often leads to an increase in the other. Wachowski says school funding experts think the property tax increases could keep coming. For one, property value in Madison has been going up for a decade. And two, millions of dollars of federal aid from the pandemic will expire next September, leaving school boards to fill an even bigger budget gap.